The main reason, to be honest with you, as we have said here, is the spectrum. We need to get more spectrum. Actually, spectrum is basically the oxygen that the network requires, and it gives us more capacity. When you've got more capacity, you're able to reduce prices. The main driver around data prices not being lower than where they are today is the spectrum. At least next year is a talk around the 4G spectrum being licensed before elections. We'll seriously welcome that development.
We've heard that yesterday in the presentations that it's been 14 years since new spectrum has been allocated. What has been the situation like?
No, I think it's been 14 years. We've been asking for spectrum. The 4G spectrum will only going to be allocated next year. The 3G spectrum, of course, was allocated in 2004, but that spectrum is extremely insufficient. We never got 4G spectrum. We had to refarm the 3G spectrum and 2G spectrum so that we could actually deliver 4G services. Otherwise, the speeds you'll be getting today would be like a tenth of what you have on 4G. Yeah, we had to basically densify the network. We had to basically find some fancy engineering so we could basically refarm, so we could actually cope with the capacity constraints. Give us the spectrum, there will be a huge improvement.
There's been quite an outcry on the data cost. What has been MTN's response to this?
I think we've done a number of things. The most important one is around the social bundles, because most of our customers actually spend time on their on their phone, basically on social media. So we have reduced prices on WhatsApp. For instance, today, for the poorest of the poor, you spend 2 rands, you get 50 megs of data, and you can send lots of basically WhatsApps on that. But actually, do not even end there. When you look at the customization on the open market bundles, we are making sure that it's daily or hourly or weekly, it's much more cheaper than when you do the monthly commitment. We're actually designing price points for every wallet because we understand that South Africa is many countries in one.
Yesterday there were also calls that data be made freely available, a portion of it, just like water and electricity, to the poor. How would MTN respond to that?
We already make a lot of our data free. If I would tell you the percentage of the data that we give for free, you will know we gave Twitter free data for 4 years for 13 million people. Even the rich people are getting it for free. So this is what we do basically all the time. But if we want to target specific areas like education as an example, we are more than willing to basically do that. We actually started that. If you are an education institution and then you apply to basically get your app 0 rated, we actually accept that. Maybe we're just not getting enough applications. Maybe people are not aware. But yes, that's what we're doing. If it has to be legislated, especially we get some ESD points around that one on triple BE, it will even be super. We'll call it a progressive way of doing business.
Well, the Commission of Inquiry into Tax Administration